Hello there, one and all, and welcome to episode 367 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise. And yes, I have decided that for the very first time that I need to start that sentence again, except I can't because this is live. I have decided that my first experience of this brand new scent from this brand is going to be live with all of you, which means that this could be a very, very interesting episode. The one thing that is certain about this episode is that it's going to be brief because it's just on this one perfume. And oh my goodness, I can't even see what the first comment was because you've already written so many. The first comment went to Dev, who says, "Hello, Mr. P. Scent of the day is Chypre Chrysanthème from Sultan Pasha, a beautiful honeyed tea-like floral composition. Sounds very, very good." And then a lot of people are commenting on the fact that we are just about to look at a Creed perfume. Paolo says, "Oh man, are you ill?" What? Because I'm doing Creed. We've got, this is new. It is new from Creed, and we keep an open mind on this channel, right? It's called Spring Flower, which means that it's also kind of not new, because I think in the late 90s, was it 96, 97, they released a perfume called Spring Flower, which if I did smell it, I've forgotten about completely. And now in 2023, we have a new Spring Flower. I have no idea who the perfume behind it is, but I suspect that the brand would sort of have, the official brand marketing probably tells us that the perfumer is a certain person. Anyway, yeah. I really, really would like to try to keep it. Was Pradeep says this was worn by Cleopatra, this particular one. Yes, I'm sure it was. Let's see. Spring Flower, I have the tiniest little blurb about it. For all I know, this will be the first Creed that I like. And if I do like it, that will make it the first Creed that I like from the Creeds that I have tried. There may well be a few others out there that I haven't tried that I would like as well. I have yet to find. I need to spray this, actually. I'm getting scared. Maybe now this wasn't such a good idea. Let's see. Okay, Spring Flower 2023 from Creed. Just looking at some of your comments. See, now look, I saw one of you wrote something like, who was it? Oh, Dev says, this can go either way, really, but the result will probably be, smells nice, just not worth what they're asking. I'm at a loss for words, because this is, what is it about these scents? This actually, the initial sniff of it anyway, doesn't even smell as interesting and just as substantial and sort of qualitative as something that you might pick up for, like, you know, £20 at Boots or Superdrug or something. For those of you not based in the UK, those are establishments where you can pick up fairly affordable perfumes, as well as less affordable ones. I mean, Boots stocks all sorts of things, right? It's calling it, is it Spring Flower or Spring Flowers? No, it's Spring Flower. Okay, so it's just the one flower. Okay, so I suppose we shouldn't have been expecting a bouquet with that name. It is just so... It is just so decisively generic that you actually start thinking that there's almost like a kind of cynical drive behind all of this, behind this release, behind the composition, to make it extremely innocuous, to make it really, really, really quite bland, so that it doesn't actually offend anybody, because it doesn't have enough of a personality to be able to offend anybody at all. It doesn't have enough of a personality to be able to blow a feather off a tabletop. And yet, and because you make it so very, very, very safe and bland and nondescript and generic, paradoxically, you can charge a lot for it because people will smell it and go, oh, well, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing scary or offensive or challenging about this. Therefore, I should be able to justify paying, what is it? Okay, for 75 mils, right? For 75 mils, it is £220 for this. And it's very difficult to describe the smell because it's slightly saline actually, which is interesting. But it's what would be left hanging in the air at a flower shop that has been shut for about 3 weeks because the owners have gone up on a long holiday, and they've actually taken out every single plant that was in there, every single flower, and maybe what's just lying on the ground is a few stray leaves that they didn't quite manage to pick up. And it's just this vague floralness hanging in the air that could be rose, but then again it isn't. Could be freesia, but then again it isn't. Could be lilac, but then again it isn't. It's this is actually making me angry. The fact you just kind of think, for goodness sake, just do something interesting. There are shampoos. There are lots of shampoos out there that smell more interesting than this. What do they say about it? Pretty in Pink, Spring Flower is a playful and unapologetic celebration of femininity. Yeah, more like an insult to femininity. But anyway, sorry, because no. Succulent peach extracts and soft florals blend effortlessly into notes of jasmine and white flowers. Yeah, of course they do. Transporting you to a quintessential English garden on a perfect spring morning. Sensual ambergris and musk follow, adding depth and tranquility to ensure every accord of this powerful female fragrance is fully savored. Oh, interesting comment from Pradeep, but this is going to be a tangent that I don't think we're going to have time for. Preet says, Creed is like Cedric Grolet, the pastry chef, right? Now, I have yet to try anything by Cedric Grolet, from Cedric Grolet. We do have a shop of his, a cafe of his in London, and I've heard very, 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 very mixed reviews. So anyway, I received a sample of a new Creed. I am now not too keen to try it, says Natasha Chef. No risky, pricey process, a sister parfum. Michael says, Garlin charge £100 for 75 mils. Rachel says, you're giving it more poetry than it has. Yeah, you're probably right. Have you actually smelt this one, Rachel? Because if you said so, then I missed that comment. I think Mr. P should only blind smell Creed perfumes because at this point it must be so hard to keep an open mind, says Cloudy. Well, I take your point, and maybe one day we should do a kind of thing where Madame Persolaise just hands me some blotters and doesn't tell me which one is the Creed. Yes, I have smelt it, says Rachel. Okay. There's a kind of woodiness coming through now. It's actually almost coming across as more masculine than anything else. I don't know. What I do know is that I don't get it. There are lots and lots of people out there for whom clearly this resonates very, very powerfully. There are lots of people out there who love Aventus, lots of people who love Viking, as we know, lots of people who love a lot of their feminine scents. I keep being told, oh, but you must like Green Irish Tweed. And I think Green Irish Tweed is fine, but then, you also can't kind of divorce it from the whole cool water thing. And it obviously it doesn't speak to me, and that's also maybe in a way okay. There are some brands out there that just don't do it for certain people. You kind of don't get where they're coming from. Jo Malone, Jo Malone is a perfect example at this point. I actually received some new Jo Malone samples today, so perhaps I'll share them with you at some point. Jo Malone is ridiculously successful, certainly in the UK, and I think in a lot of European countries as well now. But again, there's nothing in there that sort of strikes a chord with me in that brand, or not very much. A lot more than with Creed, actually. Whereas this is just Spaced Out says Royal Oud is a great one. Okay, then I will have to try it. And Luciana says, I like it too, but I don't know which you're talking about now. Sister Parfum says, American reviewers, but their influence is going low. Last year was full of people at Creed's, Harrods, but not this year. Yes, possibly. Anyway, I have labeled the blotter. I have given this particular release more time than I care to, and so I will say yes, we have notched off another Creed. But thank you very much indeed for watching, for bearing with me on that one, and I will see you in a few minutes with something that I'm sure, even if it turns out that I don't much like it, I'm 100% confident that it will be infinitely more interesting and that I will have a lot more to say about it. But for now, thank you very much. Go and enjoy some spring flowers.